My wife smiled at the table and said, "I have something to announce." Everyone leaned in, waiting. I stood up before she could finish, calm, no anger, and said one sentence she thought I'd never say out loud. The room went silent, and her smile disappeared instantly. I'm 38, married for 9 years to a woman I thought I knew. We met in our late 20s through mutual friends, got engaged after 2 years, married a year later. Standard story. Good jobs, nice house in the suburbs, the whole package. No kids yet. We've been trying for about 3 years with no success. Or so I thought. The dinner party was her idea. She wanted to host both our families for her birthday. Parents, siblings, a few close friends. About 15 people total crammed into our dining room on a Saturday evening in October. I'd spent most of the day helping her prep, chopping vegetables, setting up tables, being the supportive husband. She seemed unusually excited, almost giddy. I figured it was just birthday energy. We'd had problems. Not huge ones, but the kind that accumulate. She'd been distant for about 6 months. Less affectionate. More time on her phone. Started going to the gym religiously, which was new. New clothes. New haircut. I'd asked if everything was okay a few times and got the standard, "I'm just stressed with work" response. I believed her because I wanted to. Because questioning it meant acknowledging something I wasn't ready to face. 2 weeks before the dinner, I'd noticed she'd been to the doctor 3 times in 1 month. Found the EOB statements from our insurance. When I asked about it, she said it was routine stuff. Annual checkup, follow-up labs, nothing important. I didn't push. Should have. The dinner was going well. Good food, decent conversation, everyone in high spirits. We'd finished the main course, and I was clearing plates when she stood up, tapping her wine glass with a fork. Everyone quieted down, turned to look at her. She had this massive smile on her face, the kind I hadn't seen in months. "I have something to announce," she said, practically glowing. Everyone leaned in. Her mom clutched her chest like she knew what was coming. My mom looked hopeful. Her sister was grinning. This was clearly the moment they'd all been waiting for. I stood up before she could say another word. Calm. No anger. No dramatic gestures. Just stood and looked at her. "The baby isn't mine," I said. The room went completely silent. Her smile disappeared instantly, replaced by shock, then panic. Her mom's hand dropped. My dad's fork clattered on his plate. Everyone froze. What are you talking about?" she stammered. "The baby you're about to announce. It's not mine." Her face went white. "That's not. You don't know. I got a vasectomy 4 years ago. You didn't know that." The silence deepened. Someone gasped. Might have been her mother. Might have been mine. Hard to tell through the ringing in my ears. "You what?" she whispered. 4 years ago, after we'd been trying for a year with no luck, I went to the doctor. Found out I have a condition that makes natural conception virtually impossible. Rather than put us both through endless fertility treatments that probably wouldn't work, I got a vasectomy. Figured if we were going to need medical intervention anyway, might as well take permanent contraception off the table. Made sense at the time. "Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me you were pregnant?" She looked around the room frantically, seeing all the faces staring at her. Her father looked like he might have a heart attack. My brother was slowly shaking his head. "You're embarrassing me. Can we talk about this privately? You were about to announce your pregnancy to both our families. Seems like you wanted this public." "I don't. I can't." She grabbed her purse from the counter. "I need to leave. Don't let me stop you." She looked at her mother, who was crying now. Looked at her sister, who wouldn't meet her eyes. Then she practically ran out the front door. We heard her car start and peel out of the driveway. The dinner party ended pretty quickly after that. Update: once she didn't come home that night. Or the next. I texted once. "We need to talk eventually." No response. Her mom called me the next morning, crying, asking what was happening. Was I sure? How could I do that to her at her own birthday party? I told her to ask her daughter who the father was and hung up. My own mother called an hour later. "Is it true? About the vasectomy?" "Yes." "Why didn't you tell us?" "Because it was my medical decision and none of your business." "But she's pregnant?" "You're sure? I found the positive test in the bathroom trash 3 weeks ago, hidden under other stuff, but I saw it. That's when I started noticing the doctor's appointments." "Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. I wasn't ready for sympathy." Hung up on her too. Spent the day cleaning up from the party, throwing away leftover food, washing dishes, packing up decorations. Mechanical movements while my brain processed. She'd been cheating, obviously. For how long? With who? Did it matter? She finally texted Tuesday afternoon. Can I come get some clothes? When? Tonight around 6. Will you be there? Yes. She showed up with her sister. Used her as a buffer, wouldn't look at me. Went straight to the bedroom, packed a suitcase while her sister stood in the doorway like a guard. I stayed in the living room. When she came back down, suitcase in hand, I said, "Who is he? Does it matter? I'd like to know who my wife's been sleeping with." Her sister jumped in. "You don't get to judge her. You lied about the vasectomy." I didn't lie. I just didn't tell her. There's a difference. That's the same thing. No, lying is when she promised to be faithful and then got pregnant by someone else. My wife was crying now. I didn't mean for this to happen. Which part? The cheating or the pregnancy? Both. Neither. I don't know. She wiped her eyes. His name is irrelevant. Someone from work. It happened a few times. I ended it. And then I found out about the baby. When did it end? 2 months ago. So you've known you were pregnant for what? 3 weeks? And you ended it 2 months ago. Math doesn't add up. I found out I was pregnant, and that's when I ended it. Completely. Because you were planning to pass the baby off as mine. I thought. I hoped. Maybe the vasectomy wasn't complete or something. That there was a chance. There wasn't. There isn't. I get tested every year. Still sterile. She broke down completely then. Full body sobs. Her sister put an arm around her, glared at me like I was the monster. "We're leaving," the sister said. "Don't come back without a lawyer." They left. The house felt empty in a way it never had before. Update 2 got served with separation papers a week later. She wanted to move quickly, apparently. Fine. Buy me. I hired a lawyer, good one, explained the situation. He actually laughed. This is the most open and shut case I've seen in years. She can't claim infidelity on your part. You have medical records proving the child isn't yours. She's the one who cheated. You're getting out clean. What about the house? Whose name is on the deed? Both of ours. You'll have to buy her out or sell. But given the circumstances, you have leverage. She's not going to fight too hard. He was right. She signed everything I put in front of her. Took a cash settlement for her half of the house that was frankly lower than it should have been, but she didn't counter. Wanted it done quickly. So did I. The divorce was final in 4 months. State has a waiting period, but we rushed everything else. I kept the house, the car, most of the furniture. She took her personal items and some kitchen stuff. Split the bank accounts evenly. I didn't ask about the baby again. Didn't ask about the father. Didn't care. My brother asked me once, couple months after the dinner, "How did you stay so calm when you stood up and said that?" I'd known for weeks. Had time to process. But why at the dinner party? Why publicly? Because she wanted to announce publicly. Wanted everyone to celebrate with her. Thought she'd lock me in. Once everyone knew, I'd have to play along. Pretend the baby was mine. Be the good husband. She miscalculated. That's cold. She earned it. Final update, it's been 8 months since the dinner party. The divorce is done. I'm still in the house. Fixed it up a bit. Made it mine instead of ours. Painted the bedroom a different color. Got rid of furniture that reminded me of her. Started over. She had the baby 3 months ago. Heard through the grapevine it's a girl. Heard she's staying with her parents. Heard the father isn't involved. Turned out he was married too. What a surprise. My relationship with her family is obviously done. My own family has been supportive once they got over the initial shock. My mom apologized for calling that day. Said she understood why I did what I did. My dad just nodded approvingly when I saw him at his birthday dinner last month. Didn't say much, but he shook my hand harder than usual. I've been dating a little. Nothing serious. Not ready for serious. But it's nice to remember what it feels like to be with someone who's actually present, actually interested, actually honest. The vasectomy thing comes up on first dates sometimes when we get to the "what are you looking for" conversation. I'm upfront about it now. Can't have biological kids, had it done years ago. If that's a deal breaker, let's not waste each other's time. About half the women appreciate the honesty. The other half politely end things. That's fine. Better to know early. Someone asked me recently if I regret how I handled it. Standing up at the dinner party. Saying it in front of everyone. Embarrassing her on her birthday. I don't. She made choices. She cheated. She got pregnant. She decided to announce it publicly, presumably hoping I'd play along for appearance's sake. She gambled that I either didn't know the baby wasn't mine, or that I'd be too weak to call her out in front of our families. She was wrong on both counts. Could I have handled it privately? Sure, Could have pulled her aside before the announcement. Could have confronted her quietly. Could have let her save face. But she didn't give me that courtesy. She was about to trap me in front of everyone I care about. Force me to either smile and accept another man's child as mine, or cause a scene by objecting. I just chose the scene before she could spring the trap. The look on her face when I said that sentence, "The baby isn't mine." I'll never forget it. The immediate shift from triumphant to terrified. The realization that I knew, that I'd known for weeks, that I'd let her walk right into her own ambush. People tell me I should feel bad, that it was cruel, that I should have thought about her feelings, her dignity, her embarrassment. I think about those things sometimes. Usually right before I remember her planning to pass off another man's child as mine. Then I stop feeling bad. 9 years of marriage. Done in one sentence. Seems about right. She made her choices. I made mine.